Hi everyone, Virinius here, and today we'll talk about 3 combat tips for beginners in Final Fantasy VII First Soldier. The lessons you're about to learn can apply to solo or team games. It can be helpful when you're surrounded or you find yourself outnumbered. This tutorial is geared towards players who have little to no experience with battle royales or those who are beginners in First Soldier. So let's get into it. There are 3 things you have to always keep in mind when fighting. First is to maximize cover and elevation. Second, do not re-engage without being fully healed. And third, pay attention to MP and cooldowns. To illustrate these points, we'll review a game I played recently. There were 3 teams remaining and it was a 2 versus 2 versus 2 scenario. So in this game, Honeymelon and I were caught in the open field outside Sector 5 Undercity. The enemy team had cover and elevation whereas we had none, so I tried to hide behind this boulder to heal myself. So then they targeted Honeymelon instead. In situations like this, the first thing you need to do is to find cover or get to higher ground. If you don't have cover, it's very easy for the enemies to just surround you. While they were busy with Honeymelon, I tried to kill Banana Shima-san, but the enemy had Grace. Now, Banana Shima-san would eventually charge at me using a chocobo because she is a warrior. However, I would then deploy a defensive gravity beside me, and that seriously hurt Banana Shima-san. Their teammate had a difficult time hitting me because of this boulder, and that allowed me to finish off Banana Shima-san. However, there was another team on top of a building nearby and I was out in the open, so again I wanted to find cover or get to higher ground. To achieve this, I had to use arrow, scan the area a bit, and then I decided to land on the rooftop while dropping a Faraga. Since I'm surrounded from all sides, I figured this was the best time to use trance, allowing me to spam as many arrows and Faragas as I want. An alternative would be to use blind in this situation because it's only 1 MP and it can be a great defensive tool. I tried engaging the enemy in a 1v1, but eventually I realized this is a bad thing because it's an open field with minimal cover, and there's still two enemies lurking about. So I almost died here, but I got lucky, so I repositioned myself with arrow. As you will see, I will leave this battlefield with only 1 HP while trying to heal myself. I got very lucky here, popped up a potion while mid-air, and then jumped back to my arrow to land again on the rooftop for some cover. This brings me to my second point. Do not re-engage without being fully healed. By using arrow, I could keep my distance and find some cover while healing myself with potions. I've seen players, even at Soldier Prime, who use a potion and then immediately engage. I'm guilty of doing this too sometimes. Do not be deceived by your health bar. I know it seems like you've healed a lot, but it is a regeneration and not a burst heal. It will take time for your HP to regenerate regardless of what potion you use. If you get hit by just one bullet or blizzard projectile, that will cancel your potion and waste your resources. So find some cover, heal up, and then re-engage once you're back atop shape. Lastly, pay attention to your MP and cooldowns. Now in this situation, my trance was still on cooldown and I'm sitting at 4 or 3 MP. Normally I would cast arrow to get out of here, but that would just deplete my MP, so I just decided to climb over some walls, take cover, and utilize choke points so I wouldn't get surrounded. Now this cramped area here was a good spot to fight because there's a lot of cover, and that actually allowed me to defeat that enemy with a well-placed Firaga. Now my goal here was to wait for Trance's cooldown, so I wanted to conserve my MP. I'll try to keep the enemy away from me with Firaga, which costs only 1 MP instead of Gravity. However, I realized that I'm in an open field, so this is not a good spot to be in, this is not a good spot to fight, even though it's a one-on-one situation. So I climbed the wall, and the enemy didn't think of this. He was seeing my footsteps, but he didn't know where to look. That's why he was speaking left and right. Now I landed a good Firaga here, and then a Gravity, but it was not enough to kill him. But it all boiled down to an open gunfight right here. The enemy ran out of bullets, he had to reload, and it was a gamble, but it paid off. To recap on what we've learned, first is you must maximize cover and elevation. Second is do not re-engage without being fully healed. And third is to pay attention to your MP and cooldowns. It will take a lot of experience for you to internalize these things, so don't worry if you can't win a 2 versus 1 or 3 versus 1 fight right away. It's a really difficult situation to be in, and sometimes you need a little bit of luck too. If you are forced in a 3 versus 1 situation, don't fight in an open field. Take it to a city or a place with walls and houses, or to the mountains where you can go high and low to avoid being surrounded. So that's it. If you have any other tips, let me know in the comment section below. If you found this helpful, please hit that subscribe button. And as always, good luck and have fun, soldiers.